Hello, this is episode 21 of the Generational Podcast. My name is Owen,
And I'm Steven.
and we're father and son. So,
Yeah, and we try to keep things a little more organic here on the podcast. So, like, we kind of say a little bit of a general topic that we're going to talk about to each other earlier in the day, but we don't really, tell each other that much. That way, you guys kind of get the natural reaction of it, and we don't do a whole lot of takes.
right.
But, however,
Mhm.
we had a 21 before, and I got a little wild, a little ranty, and we decided that it probably wasn't the best thing to put out.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna kick it off with what I was ranting about.
All right.
Now, I have a respect for everybody, a general respect for everybody, except for pedophiles. So, like murderers, I can get along with murderers. Rapists, I don't like you. I think you're horrible fucking people. But if somebody was, I already went to jail or whatever and did their stuff, I can still work with people because people can be forgiven about things. Killers, rapists, thieves, I can still do that. Once you've repented or you've done your sentence and you've grown up, I can deal with that. Cheats, I can deal with that too. I can deal with working with the cheat if I have to for a certain amount of time, as long as he ain't cheating me, right? Because that's kind of how it is.
Mhm.
But I don't like them, so I stay away from them. However, pedophiles are the ones that get the X, right? Now, recently we've had this thing about the Dodgers and the Sisterhood of Perpetual Indulgence.
Okay.
I watched a clip, and in the clip, this dude dressed up like a sister, mocking, obviously, was saying that he wasn't mocking, and that it's a wonderful thing. We have all these charities and this, that, and the third.
What were they doing?
Well, at first, they by mocking, they're dressing as sisters, so they're mocking somebody else's religion.
Okay.
And it's freedom of speech. It falls under freedom of speech, but don't lie about what you're doing.
Mhm.
You're deliberately mocking Catholics.
Mhm.
I'm not Catholic, but my grandmother's Catholic, and she's touched a lot of lives and helped a lot of people out. Like, if anybody could be a saint, that lady would be a saint, and to me. Now, I've heard stories and stuff about people that don't like her, but that's what happens with people that don't like you. They tell stories, even family members.
Mhm.
So, I know, and you know, the type of person she is.
Right.
And she is a lovely lady, and she's true to her faith, and she's an original Christian. When I mean original Christian, she is Assyrian.
Mhm.
She helped translate for people to come over to this country that were getting persecuted by Muslims, killed in the street. The same Muslims that kill all you gays if you go visit their country. So, your mocking really touched a nerve when I saw two queers dancing on a cross, and then you saying, "Oh, we're not mocking Christianity.
And then
We're
there
not
was
mocking
someone
Catholics."
crucified on the cross.
Yeah,
Pretty
and the
sure.
guy was crucified too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you seen the video?
I only saw a portion of
You
it.
want to see it really quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I haven't seen the whole video, so.
Yeah, let's check it out really quick. So, I've got it on my YouTube, or on my Twitter.
Okay.
And
Talking about their name, they're called the Sisterhood of Indulgence, right?
perpetual indulgence. yeah.
Perpetual indulgence. Did you know that indulgences are supposed to get rid of your sin?
Really?
Yeah, for doing good works or giving saints
Well,
and
that's-
relics.
That's probably why they do it. They have
They
outreach. They do outreach things. Those ladies, those sisters, they do outreach stuff. That's what they're saying. Even in the deal, she goes, "Well, we help a lot of people too, right?" But you're still making a mockery of Catholicism.
They call themselves perpetual indulgence, meaning that they're forever being rid of their sin, and that's what they're calling themselves. They are dancing on the cross.
Yeah. Oh, but we're not mocking Christianity. Nope. Not mocking. Nope.
That really is mocking.
That's not mocking. Like, I'm not even a hardcore Christian, but that right there, that's grotesque. That's despicable. It's the bottom of the barrel there. I'm starting to understand Muslims a little more.
Well, I wouldn't say what Muslims are doing is right, but this is wrong.
Well, I mean, this is their justification for killing gays right here. This shit. Making a mockery of their own religion. That's why they do it. Like, this would never happen in a Muslim country. Like, I get it, it's freedom of speech and freedom of expression and all that shit, but
ethically, it's morally, it's bad.
Morally, it's like, it's despicable. It's the worst thing I've ever seen, ever. Like, and I'm not even a hardcore Christian. I believe in God and I talk to God all the time. Mm-hmm. And He speaks to me, my heart. And if He doesn't speak to you in your heart, then that's not my problem. That's between you and Him. I'll pray for you. But I'm not, by any means, Mr. Holy Roller, cover your ankles up, American man.
Yeah.
I am a very much so that I fought for you to do that shit. I fought for that.
All right. Me as a Christian seeing that,
but I'm angry. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. Hang on. Just let me just say one more thing. Mm-hmm. All right. For me, you have to understand, son. For me, I'm really, because we had a whole episode before of how I ranted, and I'm getting back to it. I'm gonna pull it back a little bit, but you have to understand that. Holy shit, man! Like, really? And you're a young Christian boy, right? Mm-hmm. What do you feel about that?
Well, I know what I saw is very disgusting to me, and I don't want to see it done on a cross because it's a symbol that you're pretty much diminishing by dancing on, right, and making a mockery of.
That's the point.
And it's
the point was to make people angry.
Yeah, and not just angry, but to make them feel good because they get attention. So these people are just looking for attention. So the best thing we could do is not give them any attention.
And we just gave them a bunch of attention, though.
That's fine. You get to hear what I think, and you get to learn about what I personally value. And this might actually relate to someone who's listening.
It might. And then, I mean, for me, I think that is just, you're the lowest form right now. Like, you're the lowest form on earth if you do some shady crap like that. And then you sit there and say, we don't mock Christians. We don't mock, listen, I'm not sticking up for Catholicism. Mm-hmm. I'm not a Catholic. All right. My nanny, she's a Catholic. Okay. I love her to death, and I will burn the world for her if I have to. If she called me and told me to start burning shit down, I would. That's how much I love her. Same thing with you. You're a Christian. That shit, I knew as soon as I saw it, I was like, that just makes people want to hate. Like, I don't understand the Dodgers either. Like, I don't get that anymore. Like, they turned around and tried to, like, do some, like, benefit for a kid with cancer now. Mm-hmm. Which is, I'm a PR person, so my heart is out of everything. So I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, you go from doing your trans thing and now you're going to honor this kid because it's sad. And you're showing everybody how good you are now. It's kind of like the Budweiser thing. So where you did something real bad, so now we got to do something to pull at everybody's heartstrings. Mm-hmm. I know PR. That was a PR call in the office. Oh, now we got to figure out how we're going to save this.
diminished your logo.
And you shit on probably a very large section of religions. Like the Catholics there are a lot of Catholics.
Not just Catholics.
I mean, but the Sisterhood of Perpetual Indulgence is focused basically on Catholicism.
Yes.
And you're shitting on them.
Mhm.
And that's a lot of people.
Mhm.
That's a lot of powerful people.
That may get mad. Well, that are mad.
I bet they are. And any Christian that saw that just saw what I saw and saw the whole video, you'd be pissed. Even if you weren't a Christian, you'd be like, what is the whole point of doing that?
You could just explain who you are and try to get someone to follow you instead of trying to.
What was the point? I don't get the point of doing that. The point was, listen, a lot of you queers got daddy issues. And a lot of you queers need to come and fess up about the daddy touched you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all you guys still in the closet that are teachers and shit trying to fuck with little kids. Yeah. You guys need to come out of the closet and go ahead and say what daddy did.
Okay, well, talking about people who are transgender and are gay, I noticed that in women's sports recently, there's more men competing in women's sports. And what I think is that there needs to be a different division for transgender women and men, and they should just compete against one another, and that would be just the professional baseline of a new category of athletes.
I think that would be a very interesting. My question is it all trans in one pool so they can beat up on each other, boys and girls alike?
Exactly.
Like they did, like they've been beating up on our women. Like for real, our women are okay. Have you ever heard the expression "a woman's touch"?
No.
Okay. So basically, the aspect of a woman, in my perspective, is to make everything better, right? So, I think Steve Harvey had a speech about it. You buy a house, a woman makes it a home.
Mm-hmm.
You buy food, a woman makes it a meal, right? It's a woman's touch, but a woman's touch is also physical.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? If you've ever danced or held a woman, they're lighter.
Mm-hmm.
They're softer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is something that cannot be replicated by any man.
Okay.
Bone density cannot change. A woman's touch, it's you can tell the difference by picking up Susie Q and then picking up a male pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can tell the difference in how she acts, her demeanor, and how another dog acts as a male.
Okay.
That's a woman's touch. That's a woman's their aura, there's something about them that cannot be replicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just in the uterus. It's the actual being of a woman. And women need to recognize that in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to stop this fake stuff, because this stuff with these guys running around acting like girls, it's a dream for you fellas. Go ahead and slap it off or whatever, but it's still
the male
a dream.
world is really hard.
You are not going to. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough being a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I understand why a lot of you dudes want to be bitches. I get it. It's a tough world.
But you can't let that happen to you.
No, that's what they want to do. Do it. Go ahead. More women for guys like you. More women to choose from for guys like you. Good women that you can have the pick of the litter with these transgender pussies.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take it as a man. You have to dress as a woman. Maybe or maybe not. Maybe that I feel like a woman. Yeah, but you will never really feel like a woman.
So talking about that,
you won't
I
ever
was
feel
thinking
like a woman.
Yeah.
Like transgender dudes, you'll never feel like a woman. Ever.
All
It
right.
will never happen. You can look like one. You can try and talk like one. You can try and make other dudes get drunk and believe you're one. but you'll never have the touch of a woman. You'll never have the breath of a woman.
Biologically.
You just won't. And that's an aura thing that you can never have, ever.
Okay. So, talking about women, right? I think that there needs to be a
Yeah,
new
we were
celebration.
Yeah, we were talking about this. We were like, Dylan Mulvaney had an idea of his 365 days of womanhood. Well, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, and like I said, we don't really get into discussion much because we want to do it naturally here. You good? You could blow your nose on TV. You think somebody gonna care? They'll
No.
make fun of you because you blow your nose?
No.
They blow their nose too. But anyway, we were talking about it, and we want to. There has to be a Women's Day. There needs to be a day where women are honored, and not Mother's Day because that's Mother's Day.
Right.
No, that's Mother's Day. That's for mothers, right? They've been doing this thing. Have you heard these menstrual parties?
No, I haven't heard of menstrual parties.
Apparently, it was a thing for a while that mothers were having menstrual parties with their daughters to invite all their friends, but they would invite one boy that they liked, and then he would eat the cake and not really realize it'd be like a red cake.
Red
And
velvet.
he doesn't realize what's going on.
That's messed up.
So what do you do then? So they have menstrual parties.
Mhm.
So I was like, well, why don't we have a holiday that honors women?
Mhm.
Do we have a holiday that honors men as well? No?
No.
We need to have a holiday that honors men for being men and women for being women. Biological. 100% biological. That means if you're a trainee and you try to walk in on Women's Day to get a discount, you get denied because you're not a real woman.
Okay.
So,
Same way. If
I'm
you're
saying-
on Trans Day and you walk in and try to get a discount.
you get denied.
Exactly.
This one free way stuff needs to stop. Women need to have their time in the sun.
Mhm.
And I'm saying the day after Dylan Mulvaney had Budweiser crash, or the day of the Budweiser crash, needs to be the new America's National Women's Day.
Okay.
The very day that Budweiser crashed and all those stocks fell, that's National Women's Day. Gentlemen, on National Women's Day, you are to honor all the women in your household, little ladies alike, and you show them, the little ladies, how mamas should be treated in the house. Gentlemen, if you have a girlfriend, she's a woman, you take her out on that day. You do all the stuff she likes for you, and you tell her how appreciative you are to all the ladylike things she does. Right? Sounds like a good deal, doesn't it?
Right.
Jewelry stores, bam. I'm talking, we can make this a great holiday for women. And to the backside of that, we'll come up with a Men's Day. But I think it's only fair to have ladies pick that Men's Day.
Right.
So another YouTuber out there, a female YouTuber maybe, that is jockeying for men's rights, I would like you to pick a Man's Day. I challenge you to pick Men's Day.
Okay.
And then you choose the things that you do for your man on that day. So we have Women's Day, which is the day that Budweiser crashed because of Dylan Mulvaney. It's the new Women's Day, National Women's Day for women.
Okay.
Honoring all women and girls, little girls too. And that way we teach them how women are to be treated.
Okay.
And then ladies, you have Men's Day. Whoever the YouTuber is, I don't know anybody specific, but I'm sure somebody will see there out there and get our challenge. Maybe we'll make a short.
Okay.
What do you think? Would you go along with that for years?
Yeah.
You're 16.
I would. And I think that if trans people and gay people are able to go and convince people to be gay and trans, straight people could go and convince people to be straight.
I don't think we need to as much.
No.
But we can always say that there's nothing wrong with being straight.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong for wanting to protect your woman, your spouse.
Mhm.
The person that's supposed to have your kids, that's your family. There's nothing wrong with protecting that, ever. There's nothing wrong with wanting to keep your family together.
Right.
Right? We grow up in this society where it's like there's something wrong with people that want to work together and get things done.
Here in America.
In America. Well, it's
In other countries, it's different.
well, not so much. It's a virus. It spreads.
Okay.
It's ideology,
Mhm.
right? Quickly that everybody can get divorced and find another lover.
And that's
Right.
That's not a good way to look at life.
No, it's not. I think it's very important to find someone in your life that complements you
Mhm.
and that helps you. And people like we don't go out a lot.
Mhm.
Madison and I don't go out a lot, but we love each other to death. So we work together and we eat together, and you know, we don't have this. We don't need other people in our lives to be happy.
Mhm.
You understand? So when you find happiness with someone else, you don't need other people to validate yourself and your happiness.
Right.
So that's important. If you can find somebody like that, gay, lesbian, straight, doesn't matter. If you find somebody like that, it's special. I know he's going to say something different, but for me, if you find somebody that loves you like that and you find a compatible love, that's good.
Mhm.
Right? I know you're Christian, and you don't look at the whole like gay lesbian thing, but I'd much rather people get along than not.
Okay.
And I think that mocking somebody's religion openly like that and then having groups that support that, it's despicable.
And same way the other way around too.
Yeah,
I would say.
I think, I don't have to go out there. I mean, I don't know. I just,
You exactly know what you want to say, and I think that it's wrong, right?
it's wrong to do that. I understand it's your freedom of expression. It's America. I can do what I want. Yeah, you can. As long, you know what? I don't know what your repercussions for doing that were. I don't know what the repercussions for dancing on that cross were.
Mhm.
I know the repercussions for things that we put out.
Right.
And I also understand that someone might be watching that wants to help
Mhm.
us, and then someone could have been watching that, and then they're like, find out that person's name,
Mhm.
find out who they're connected to, find out who their parents are, find out everything about them. Listen, Catholics roll deep, dude. And if it's one religion that I know that I would never want to cross, it's Catholicism.
I would agree. Other than Muslims.
You have to understand that history is
Mhm.
deep,
Right.
deep. And I'm Assyrian apparently, and I don't know. I'm sure I'm rooted really deep into that history somewhere in ancestry somehow.
All right.
But I'm not. Like I said, I'm not a Bible thumper.
Mhm.
I don't agree with that. I believe that everybody sins,
Mhm.
and I believe that everybody has the ability to be good in them,
All right.
just as much as everybody has bad. What do you think? What do you think about this whole situation? Because you have to grow up for the next, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years with this kind of rhetoric being spewed everywhere.
With the amount of time that I have in my life, I think that I'm able to change current society to become better, or try at least, because I have the power to try to change the world, and it's a right here in America to do so.
I love your hope. I think we had. Now, you just made me remember a conversation that we had before, and you asked me the same question. You asked me, Dad, do you think that you can change anything? And I told him no. Nope. And and you asked me why not, right?
Mhm.
And I said, because nobody likes me.
Mhm.
Nobody likes the fact that everybody, when you tell the truth to people, they don't like you. It's not a popular thing.
My thing is, are you more disliked than Jesus during his time?
I don't. That's what you said to me then.
Mhm.
My whole thing is this. Like, okay, here's my point. So there's this guy that I went to high school with, right?
Right.
Super smart dude, right?
Okay.
And you know, I dropped out of high school at 16. I got into a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably 15. I got into a fight with. It wasn't even a fight. It was a scuffle with a teacher.
Right.
I might have talked about it in the podcast before.
You have it. I'm sure of it.
Okay. So I got into a scuffle with a teacher, and I left the school.
Mhm.
So I went and I took this test at this place called Menninger's, which is like a psychiatric place. It's for people that like were doing drugs, like drug addicts.
Mm.
I was smoking a bunch of weed. I was smoking about an ounce a day, which at your age is a lot, apparently. And I ended up breaking the record at that time for the highest amount of THC ever recorded in a human body.
Wow.
And then, of course, probably Snoop Dogg broke that after. But when I got sent there, I had these books in front of me, and they were just like, listen, work at your own pace. And I was just like, okay, so I just tested out on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did like I was like, I didn't want to do any more of the work. And I said, listen, can I just get my GED now? I just want to get a GED. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to get my GED. And they're like, okay. So I tested out and got that.
Mm-hmm.
So when all this COVID stuff was going down,
All right.
and all these television stations and everybody was telling everybody what to do. And while everybody was telling everybody what to do, I was reading. I was reading about everything I could get my hands on because I need to watch out for you.
I also read too.
We both read a lot. And then Madison on top of that, because then it was a family health thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I posted things about the stuff that we'd found. And then this person tried to drag me through the mud about how I dropped out of school.
Oh.
And that I wasn't smart. Even though I have a college degree now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the military too. That because I dropped out of school, that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And that these professionals knew more than me, but
Come to find out.
looks like they were bought. And you had the same material as they had, and you just listened to them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, where's my apology, you fucking dick?
Mm.
You need to apologize, you piece of shit. You bald-headed fuck. That's what I say to you, you fucking dirty motherfucker. There, I had to get that off my chest because you're a turd. You're a turd of a separate kind. Like, man.
Change it from a turd to a politician. I want to talk about DeSantis and how he's running for president. What do you think about that?
I like the idea of DeSantis as president, but not for this term.
Oh, okay. That's new.
I believe that he has a lot that he can still do. I mean, he's done so much for here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has a lot that he can still do and a lot that he can prove to both sides of the aisles of the American people. And I think that doing this right now kind of hurts you a little bit on the side that you're already on because of Trump.
Right. Unless he's running for vice.
Then it's different. If he's doing this thing where he's raising money just to like come together with Donald Trump and run together as president and vice president,
that would be insane.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
That would be the strategy that I would go by. That's what I would do. I would say, okay, well,
recruit Tucker.
Oh yeah, well Tucker, or Tucker in there too. I mean, you have. If that's what he wants to do. Tucker probably doesn't want to do that. If I was Tucker, I don't know. I don't know what Tucker wants. I don't know Tucker's feelings. I know that he's a stellar guy. I like hearing him, and he's honest.
And yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So what do you like about all these guys?
I
What do you
like
think? Yeah.
okay. The reason why I like DeSantis is because he was in the military, right?
Yes. I think it was special ops too, special forces.
So, other than that, I like DeSantis because during the COVID lockdowns, he understood how human bodies worked and how, I forget what it was called, herd immunity was a large part of, well, defeating a virus. So,
Yeah.
he put in effect of not letting his state shut down, which
Mhm.
is, which he done it by not closing down businesses during COVID because businesses can't close down when they're local. When they're local, they're paying bills.
Mhm.
So if they're out for about 2 years, which was right about COVID, you're going to destroy businesses and destroy America. And you're not doing good to your own state or the country and the people living in the state. So he made the right decision by keeping businesses open. Some people might argue differently, but look at how Florida did compared to California and how Florida's population has risen and how California's population has slowed down when rising. So declined.
Big time, yeah.
And then look at Texas, which didn't shut down as well. And
Well,
it's just to that a show of who made the right options.
the opposite side of that, I mean, you kind of put a little touch on that California with their lockdowns. But what I'm looking at is DeSantis helped the middle class.
Yeah.
He, by not shutting down here in Florida, he helped the middle class. Now, any other state that didn't do that, you helped the upper class.
Right.
Because those middle class businesses failed.
And then corporations.
Yep, got to take over.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have people that were backed in your little town by certain groups, banks, and they've manipulated their ways into making millions illegally. As a matter of fact, I hope they get audited. So,
okay, so here's the plan that I figured out and how people are taking land from, well, local businesses. What you do is you shut local businesses down so they can't get any
through
businesses
through
lockdowns, and then
what is that other thing that they had?
And then banks would buy up that land, and if that politician had shares inside that bank, then that politician is making more money
because they can buy up that land.
Exactly. So overall, it's just politicians making laws, getting people out of their homes, and then a land grab afterwards.
Yep. It's about to happen again.
Right. And every time it happens, it's just the higher class getting richer and the middle class just getting destroyed.
Yeah. So that's the blueprint. It's just.
And the best way to defeat it is just saying no.
Yeah.
To the rules.
Yeah, like you have to say no at some point. You have to stand up and say, yeah, no. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did when people were trying to tell me what to do. I was like, no, I'll go over here. No, well, I can't go over there. Okay, I'm not going to. I don't need to. No.
You can't tell me what to do. I have my rights.
Yeah, I would still do things out of courtesy for other people because people were afraid. And I also work in our business.
And we were actually used to masks because we lived in Japan.
Yes.
In Japan, if you're sick, you put on a mask and everybody stays away from you.
Yeah, you're kind of like, it's courtesy to put on a mask, right? But I was never forced to put on a mask.
Right, and that was very new.
Yeah, that was very scary.
That too.
And people were like, put on your mask. I wouldn't do it.
You know what? It distanced a lot of people in school because some kids didn't know how to talk to each other anymore. They didn't have any social cues, or they made weird faces and they didn't smile when they talked because they had a mask on. And other than that, a lot of people got catfish too.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do. We have visuals, right? So on everybody, we have cues. Wrinkles on our face, upper brows, on everything are nonverbal cues. And when you take away that, right, you don't know what's going on. You don't know if somebody's frowning at you, smiling at you, if they're like got their tongue out at you. or anything. They could be like, you know, they could be giving you an ugly face, like, oh yeah, no problem, fucking bitch. You know, like when you know.
So it kind of it changed how we talk to people, and it changed how we perceive people, and it just
Teeth decay.
Yeah.
Cause teeth decay. It also causes
respiratory problems.
Respiratory problems was the biggest thing. I think that was our biggest fight.
Because it's like a plate. Okay, so a mask pretty much prevents everything coming in and out, but doesn't really do it.
Not so much.
Not so much. But my point is, mold grows on masks. And if that person doesn't change masks every few hours, they have mold growing on it. And when you're breathing in mold, that is sick. Horrible for your lungs.
You get sick.
Mm-hmm.
You get sick. It's basically the Spanish flu all over again.
Right. And we already had this happen once before.
And that's the thing that we were going through. We were trying to let everybody know, like, this has been done before. What is everybody doing? I was like, listen. And, you know, what happened, I guarantee you, somebody said something like, oh, that'll never happen in America.
And it happened.
And somebody was like, oh, well, I've got the money to make it happen. So...
Wow, Dad, you can't be saying those things.
that's kind of work. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's like, well, you know, you say it can't happen. I'm going to show you that it can because I have the money to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of how it works. And now they're saying that the new thing out that I heard, the new propaganda, because all I'm saying is it's propaganda right now because I don't have any basis to say that it's true.
Mm-hmm.
But the propaganda out is that Russia invaded Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Because of, what was it this morning? Russia invaded Ukraine due to...
Well, I know personally that Russia invaded Ukraine because Russia had Nazi groups who were doing terrorist attacks on Russia, and that's why they invaded Ukraine. That's Russia's...
Was that the only reason, though?
Reason.
Wasn't there another reason to that?
Human trafficking.
Human trafficking was one of them.
That, it was Ukraine.
Nope, it was a lab. The Bidens had those labs in China.
Yeah,
they had biolabs in Ukraine, and Russia wanted to take those biolabs out, and they to stop COVID in their area.
Okay.
That's what the new propaganda out is, I heard this morning.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's true, but imagine that. Then that would mean that Russia, Biden, or Ukraine, Biden, and China connection.
Okay.
And if that is true, then, oh boy. Once that gets connected, then you have Obama's connected with it.
Yeah, because Biden was the vice president for the longest time.
Yes, and my whole thing is, you know, there's an African saying where they say use a stick, right? Obama used a stick with Biden. He used Biden.
Okay.
I think he's using the whole Biden family. Like they're the fall guy. The Bidens are the fall people for this one.
Okay.
Right? But it's not just them. And that's what we need to realize, that there's a lot of moving parts, and that every part needs to be polished and put back or put somewhere else for a little while before they can come back into play.
All right. So last podcast, you were supposed to ask me what I wanted to do when I turned 21.
Yeah, what do you want to do when you turn 21?
When I turn 21, I want to have my own house.
Oh, we're not boozing?
No,
good.
Definitely not.
'Cause I can't drink anymore.
I don't want to do booze because I know the effects of booze and what it does to your joints.
What?
It dehydrates you. And
bullshit.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just joking. You wake up, you're like, oh, I feel like a cracker. I don't mean that in a racist way. I don't mean that in a please don't cancel me. I'm part cracker myself. Anyway,
when I turn 21, I want to still be able to wrestle and do it at a...
You want to fight?
Depends on how much I grow. If I'm 6 feet and over, yeah, definitely fighting. Yeah.
Because you know bigger fighters get paid more.
not just get paid more, they got distance, they got
John Jones.
exactly.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I have a question. If you
Okay.
have, if we have a chance to bring an athlete on here, on our podcast, who would you like? to
Patrick
bring?
Mahomes.
Are you serious,
Yeah,
Patrick
gotta
Mahomes,
get up,
dude?
gotta pick the highest one.
Are you kidding me? I can't believe he said Patrick Mahomes. But you know,
You said any
that's
athlete.
gonna be difficult. I don't think I could. I can never say never.
Mhm.
But
Never say never.
that would be pretty cool. I would say that would be pretty cool. But I mean,
That was quick.
that was
wasn't it?
really quick. I have fighter friends that we could bring on.
okay.
a
I
lot.
want Nori P on here.
Noripy.
Mhm.
If Noripy ever decides not to go to California to train, but he's
Oh,
always
that would
going.
be nice.
He trains at Alpha, Team Alpha. Alpha, I think it's just Alpha with
Okay.
what's his name? He was a damn champion. I met him.
Is
at,
Fireball Kid still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fireball's kid's still alive, but that's Japan. They're in Japan. Dang, what's his name? Uriah Faber.
Okay.
Uriah Faber's gym. He likes to go there to Team Alpha and train there all the time. He's been going there for years. And I think he's still in the UFC.
How about
too.
Mike Tyson too? That would be
Oh,
nice.
I would like to have Mike because at one time I was mad at Mike because he got charged for rape. I was like, man, how could you do such a thing? And then you hear his story, and then you see oh wait, that could have been just her saying it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And you never know because people say things just to hurt other people or to get money from other people too. So, I wouldn't. I think that would be interesting to have him on because I never realized how good his philosophy was.
Mhm.
Are we that boring?
I think so.
Are we that boring that we
Maybe.
put, I don't know. Tuesdays is just spent. I gave her a bath this morning. She smells good. Come here, Tuesday. Come on. Let's say bye to everybody. Come on, Pretty Pity. Come on, Pretty Pity. Come on, up. Come on, up. Come on over here. Come on over here. Come on over here, girl. Come on over here, girl. Come on. Yes. You smell good.
All right, that was episode 21 of the
21.
Generational Podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.